Today is Sunday, and I just downloaded NINZA's Rev Out Scalping indicator, and I ran it in market replay. I downloaded data from Friday, this past Friday, which was a choppy day, which is actually good. I wanted to see how this indicator can handle chop. So why did I run it in market replay? A number of reasons. First of all, I wanted to make sure that the signals don't repaint. So what is repainting? Repainting is when a particular indicator has different signals in real time as opposed to a historical chart. So for example, when you run things in real time, let's say there was a short signal right here, which would have been a losing trade. But when you reload the chart, when it becomes a historical chart, all of a sudden the signal disappears or it appears somewhere else, which is really not very conducive to studying the indicator and see how you can use it effectively in real time. So this indicator does not repaint. The signals you see are the same signals that appear in real time and on historical charts. Second reason I ran a market replay is to see where does the signal fire, and it fires right on bar close. Again, it's important because some indicators, even though the signal appears here, it doesn't fire for a while, but in this case it's right on bar close, so that was good. Third reason, I wanted to see if it could be automated. Now, if you have a third-party software that can recognize and automate signals, which I do, these signals then could be traded in full automation, which is again very helpful, especially in a market like the NASDAQ that could move fairly fast. So I'm just going to go over the signals with you from Friday. So this was 9:30 open. I live in New York, so Eastern time zone in the US. This is 9:30, and I'm just gonna go over the signals from Friday, which I said was very much so a back and forth kind of day, which is a great test for an indicator. I'll tell you how I trade this type of an indicator. I always love the first signal in the sequence. So for example, I would take this long and I probably would stay away from this one. I would take this short and probably stay away from this one. The idea is, as I'm looking at the indicator, I'm asking myself what kind of money management would work best with it. So like just looking at these first four signals, again, I would only take two out of these four because I would take the first one in each sequence. And so I can say, for example, well, I would like, if I'm trading two contracts, I would like one to be covered fairly fast, maybe like 12 to 15 ticks. Remember, this is a scalping indicator, so it's not necessarily for swing trading, although I am going to show you later that definitely can catch some pretty amazing moves. But so far I would say a quick first target, stop goes to break even on the second half. So in this case I would have gotten stopped on the second half, hit my first target, same exact thing here. So if that's not how you trade, you would say, well, I'm just going to take a long and wait for a reversed signal. This would have been a very small loss. It would have been a loss, but a very small loss. Again, that's not how I would trade it, but you know, we all are different. But now, okay, so if you then in a short, you definitely make up the small loss that you had here. And that's what I meant when I said, while it is a scalping indicator, and I would treat it as a scalping indicator, definitely there is a potential for very nice moves. I'm going to show you some more later. So you see how it continues. And again, my approach is, let me get in here and try and hold something for the move after taking a first profit fairly soon, because it does stay in trades. You see, even though there are moves higher, this indicator does not take long trades. I find that to be impressive. Remember, again, these signals do not repaint. So then it identifies a long, and again, for this long, first target is easy. Second target, you second half, you would break your stop to break even, I guess. Maybe you would have stopped here at break even then and just grabbed first target. Again, though, I love the first signal. I love less the second signal. It's just my approach to this kind of trading. Let me hit at least one target and then stand aside, unless there was a retracement. So I'm going to talk about that. Unless there was a substantial retracement, which we don't see here. So I would not be taking this second trade, the second long. So no short yet here. A bit disappointing. I would like to see a short here, but it didn't happen. This short, so here's what I learned from this one. Let's take a closer look. What I learned here is that yes, first target would have been hit, but first there was a retracement. So what it tells me is I need to leave enough room as far as a stop loss not to get stopped for no reason, because it would have been a shame to get stopped here. First target would have been reached, then probably on a second half you would have gotten stopped at break even. Again, fairly choppy conditions, this is what you get, but the point is you would have still gotten first target. The fact is, price did not even test really this pivot. It didn't break it at all. There was no reason to be out of this short trade. So as I'm looking at it, as I'm thinking of the plan for tomorrow, I will be trading it live tomorrow. This kind of tells me what kind of stops I would need. And again, love the first one, not too crazy about the second one. Even though, definitely great trades. What is amazing, what I find really fascinating, there are no longs here. Even though it's very choppy, the indicator stays on short. It continues to recognize the bearish nature of the move, and it is not giving you long trades. So that's terrific. Nice move down. And again, in all honesty, I would not be taking these shorts. I would just try and grab this one. Well, not try. I would grab this one, hit first target. Probably would not be able to hold anything. I would have gotten stopped at break even on the second half. But if you can figure out an approach where you can stay in the move, I'm telling you, Friday was not a trending day, and it really held pretty well. So short, no shorts. Now you see what this is, a retracement. So that's what I mean. Now if there is a short, in all honesty, I would have taken it. I don't remember if there was one here, but the only way I would participate is if there is a retracement, because knowing NASDAQ, you know that moves get overextended and then it reverses the other way. So that's why I would not be participating in these shorts, even though the indicator picked beautiful locations for these shorts. Me as a trader, I would not be participating in these trades. So we have a move higher. I would be participating in this one. So again, let's take a look why. Because I just said I take only the first one. Yes, only the first one in a sequence. But this is a retracement. This is a move higher. There are no long signals, and here is a short. I would take this one for sure. I would take this one. Again, I had to take some heat, and going back to the idea of I need to give this trade room to breathe. When I create my money management for tomorrow, I'll need to keep this in mind. I need to give it room to breathe. All this was a test of this pivot. No reason to get out of the short, just a beautiful move lower. Here was a losing trade, and this is important, right? No matter what you use, you're going to have losing trades. But take a look. What I find impressive here, This is a losing trade, and I would have taken this long if it was in real time for sure. I would have, no reason not to, but look how quickly the indicator kind of realizes it's on the wrong side. Here is a long, and you get stopped. No question, there was a reverse signal. If it was me, I would have reversed direction, taking a loss on this long. Definitely make it up here, no question. First target hit, and you should be able to hold something for the second half. If you have a trailing stop of some kind, something should have been held for this nice move lower that definitely makes up the small loss on this long. So I'm glad to see a losing trade, because it's important for me to see how the indicator would handle wrong direction. And this was just, just a losing trade. This definitely happens no matter what you use. So kind of chopping around here, nothing. Here is a long, and this is just a beauty. So again, I'm going to talk about the idea of giving the trade room to breathe. If you set your stop too close, you get stopped here for no reason. You would have re-engaged over here. You would have taken this long. But again, all this was with a test of this pivot. There was no reason to get out. It's just a test of the pivot. First target hit, and again, should have held for something on the second half. Something should have been held on the second half. I think it's a beautiful trade. Look at this short. Pretty much at the top of the move. Pretty much at the top of the move. Again, scalping. First target hit quickly. Look at this nice move. Lower. So, here is another long. Again, if you give your trade room to breathe, this does not have to be a loss. And if you look to the left, all this is a test of this pivot. So no real reason to get out of the long. If you say, well, why not this pivot? If this is where your stop is, then you've gotten stopped. I would not put it here. Again, if you know the NASDAQ loves to kind of break an immediate pivot just by a little bit, just to take everyone out, because they know where the stops are, just to get you out and then go your way anyway. So my stop actually would have been upon a reversed signal. If I had a short here, for example, I would have reversed. But there was nothing here, so we have a move higher. Here is another example of probably a losing trade. And now, by the way, we're getting into the times. I didn't mention that. I do not like to trade, let's say, the best time to trade for me is between 9:30 and like 10:30, 11 o'clock max. Then nothing until like 2 o'clock, a bit after 2 o'clock. Then we hit that chop zone, this kind of a lunchtime, choppy activity. But regardless of what I would have done, let's see what the indicators are doing. So this short might not have hit the first target. Again, it depends what your first target is. There is 12 ticks here, but let's say if you have 15 or 20 ticks on your first target, this is a loss. But again, look how quickly the indicator recognizes that it's on the wrong side. You see this? This loss is not very big. It's a loss for sure. It's a loss, but it's not a very big loss. And here is a move higher. Would you make this up? For sure. For sure you make up the loss in this move higher. So getting into lunchtime now. So, lunchtime. Either you hit your first target or you didn't, and then it's a loss. And here is a long, decent long. Okay, short. I mean, again, this is a scalping indicator. I don't expect tremendous moves during lunchtime, and on the day as a whole. Friday as a whole was a very choppy day. I think all things considered, handling everything beautifully. Short here, definitely a winner. A long here, definitely enough for the first target. Scalping, right, we're talking between 12 and 20 ticks, let's say, for the first target. And then your other half should go immediately to break even. You would have gotten stopped on the second half at break even. Here is a short. So I mean, considering the chop, I think it's doing an amazing job here. Just great, really. Here is a long, and again, all of these give you first target. You cannot hold to anything. If you have a second half, you keep getting stopped at break even on a second half. That's just what happened during this time period. So I marked this when I ran the market triply because I found this interesting. This is complete chop now. Now we're getting into just ridiculous chop. No signals. No signals whatsoever over here. And then watch what happens. So no signals. Now price breaks lower. The last thing you would probably expect is a long signal. And I guess probably if you see it in real time, you're like, I probably don't want to take it. Full disclosure, that's what I was thinking. When I saw this signal appear as I was doing market replay, I said, that's probably is a bad signal. Well, so much do I know. Look at this move. Just wow. So after completely giving no signals during chop, it identifies a long pretty much at the beginning of the... You really can't get any closer to picking a bottom on a swing. This is just great. Is it possible to hold something? I mean, you need to have really good money management, I guess. Is it possible to hold something? Great if you do. And again, like I love the first one. Not sure if I would have taken the second one, but definitely it's amazing. But the more signals I get consecutively in the move, the more suspicious I get. Again, because I know the NASDAQ, and it's a choppy day to begin with. Eventually, a move gets overextended. And then you don't want to be in that last long because of this. You see this? Move is overextended. Here is a long, but I would not, no way would I participate in this long. It's an overextended, look at that. No way. Look for a retracement. Here is a short, and now it takes you down. Nice move. Again, love the first signal. Probably would not have taken the second one, even though it would have been a winner for a scalp. The third one also would have been a winner for a scalp. Me, I would just take the first and try and hold on to something. Here is a long. This long is only enough for a first target. Just another amazing short. Just amazing short. That first signal is always the best in my book. Just terrific signal. It was... So again, even though I said this is scalping, not a swing kind of an indicator, it can pick up some substantial moves. I mean, in this case, if you just look from the short to the long, this is nice. This is a beautiful move. Long again, love the first one, would not have taken the second one, would not have taken the third one. I just won the first one. With this one, I definitely hit the first target, maybe was able to trail something for the second, but probably would have been stopped at break even on a second half. Just chopping around, getting toward the end of the day, chopping around. But again, if you take a look at this area, I mean, as incredibly choppy as it is, you don't see any short signals. It continues to stay on a bullish side here. I would not have taken subsequent trades after the first one, but the point is, it can handle chop. That's the most impressive thing, I think, with this indicator, because as day traders, chop is our number one enemy. It can handle chop fairly well, and now it's the end of the day, so a short. So first it focuses on the longs and does okay, and then end of the day a short, and again does okay. I'm not saying anyone would have traded this. I would not have, but this is good. End of the day. Okay, so tomorrow, Monday, I am trading this live. I will come up with a money management approach. It would have 2 contracts. It would target first target would be like between 12 and 15 ticks. For the second half, stop would go to break even and try and trail the price, because this indicator can catch some fairly amazing moves if you can only stay in the position. Okay guys, we'll see you about tomorrow.